Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. My name is Mike Amos, his name is Bill Rice, and his name is Forrest Lee. And we're ready to go this Friday morning. Thank goodness it's Friday morning.
Yep.
March the 26th.
Last day of.
I still cannot get used to getting up early, and I've gotten up at 5:30 for the last 25 years probably.
I bet. Probably longer than that.
But hey, it's great to talk to the people of Pike County and see what's going on this weekend. And of course, we're laid back television at its very best. We're on Facebook. We go live across the nation, across the world on Facebook this morning. Rice, you're in your Texas orange this morning, friend.
This little change of pace right here. This little Texas.
Oh, hook 'em horns this morning.
It's a different look for me.
And Forrest, ladies and gentlemen, his hair is growing back at record pace. At record pace.
If I have had to shave twice, I believe my beard would be longer than my head.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was thinking that you might keep your beard.
Well, maybe. I reckon I could do some Santa Claus appearances.
If somebody would like to donate the Messenger, they charged me $5.50 for two papers this morning, the Dothan Eagle and the Troy Messenger. No, not the Messenger, but the advertisement.
The what?
They charged me $5.50 for those two newspapers.
$2.25 a paper?
That's right. Well, one of them cost $2.50, and the other one. No, wait a minute.
Dothan's 2, I think, is the Messenger 2 and the Messenger's 1 and the. I don't know.
And it might be where I'm buying them, but I'm buying them on a Ben station on the bypass, and it's an easy place to get it. But hey, we need to know the news, and we're gonna find out what's going on in the Wiregrass.
What I like to do is I bought a subscription online to the Troy Messenger and the Dothan Eagle,
good.
So you can have a chance to read it, because sometimes it's blocked. But anyway.
But of course, Rice can handle that, can he?
I know somebody that works at the Messenger now.
Somebody that works at the Messenger, and his name, but he's a big old burly guy. He's a big old guy, isn't he? 6'5".
Yeah, I used to call him the big tight end from Tucson. When we were playing yard football, and I'd call him
Bill Rice's middle son. Is that right?
No, he's the baby son.
That's right. He is the baby son.
He's my little brother, but my little brother is bigger than me.
Okay. Of course, we got a lot of basketball going on this weekend. We're going to talk about that and the Final Four and the brackets, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, if your bracket's still alive, I'll tell you this. A guy was working in my yard yesterday. I hear some buzzer going on.
That's mine. I've got it on silent.
Somebody wants to speak to Forrest Lee. If somebody wants to speak to Forrest Lee, we're going to have to speak.
I'm good.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
It's just buzzing. It's just buzzing.
Okay.
I turned it off.
Yesterday a man was working, and of course he's a guy that works in my yard a lot, where I works on different things in my house, and he was out in the back, my back driveway and patio back there, and he looked up in a tree, and there was a snake about 10 feet long.
In the tree?
In the tree.
Was it
climbing up the tree?
Rat snake?
Well, it's either a rat snake or a chicken snake. It wasn't poisonous. We could tell that it wasn't a rattlesnake and so forth. But, hey, I asked him, I said, well, you killed him, didn't you? He said, no. I said, well, why didn't you kill him? I mean, see, my wife and me always thinking when she walks back here, be worried about that snake. And sure enough, she's already started worrying about that snake. But that snake was 8 to 10 feet long at least, and he took pictures of it and everything. It was up in a tree. It climbed. Don't think a snake can't climb up.
I've never seen one, but.
Hey, Mike, when you get here one day soon, I want you to do some work in my backyard.
You got a bunch of limbs and trees down?
Yeah, and I got a snake I want you to get.
Yeah, I saw the snake. The snake was pretty bad.
But it was a chicken. We think it was a chicken snake, but it was.
They were saying it was a rat oak snake, is what they were saying.
he's probably good for us. Might to kill the rats and whatever. Surely we don't have any rats around our house, but it was a big snake, and to be out in this kind of weather, and he was out evidently in that bad rain, and everything. And
it's tough to be. It's tough to be a snake. I mean, I've always heard that 95% of them aren't poisonous, but we don't know that, and so think of all the little sweet innocent snakes that have been killed just because people thought they were water moccasins.
That's right, and there's some water moccasins on down in the woods too. Wherever there's water moccasins.
I remember reading in Time magazine after the big Elba flood, one of the biggest concerns when it was receding, people who went back in their houses were looking for rattlesnakes and moccasins because they don't like being in water a whole lot. They need to get out, and that was a concern of finding moccasins and rattlesnakes in your house.
I heard that. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, in 1990, when the Elba flood hit, I was, and of course it was the kind of rain that we're having now, just more rain, and Walnut Creek flooded, and it went down and hit the Pea River, and it flooded, and Elba flooded, whatever. I was working at the time with the Alabama Department of Community of Federal Grants, and I was given the detail to go to Elba to represent the state and do some liaison work with the county and the city of Elba after that flood. And I saw a lot of things, and people went around for 4 or 5 days on boats in downtown Elba. It was flooded up
that long
to the top of the windows and all that. But and then Hank Williams came down there, and Hank Williams gave them some money, and they gave out the money, and they would get in arguments over who deserved the money. And these rich guys, that they didn't want them to get any money. But it was a great time of the public getting together and doing.
I'd like to see some pictures of that. I haven't thought about it in a while, but that was a flood of a century, and Elba has a flood of the century at least once a century.
Yeah, you can remember how it left stains on the courthouse.
Oh yeah, still there.
The water stains.
And people in Elba that build in the flood zone are asking for trouble, because over the years.
You don't even go to Elba anymore. They totally bypassed the whole town. It's like
why did anybody
doesn't exist anymore?
Why did those local businessmen let that happen? I don't understand.
I mean, when I go to the beach, or I'm coming back from the beach to Troy, I totally bypass Elba. I don't even come close to it.
Just like Opp.
That's right, and Ops done the same way.
Well, it's always been. At first, it was railroads that determined the fate of your town, and it's highways and bypasses. Yeah.
Speaking of disasters, thoughts and prayers with the tornado victims in Alabama.
Five.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, you
5 lives were lost in Calhoun County, 3 in one family, but a lot of destruction. And I've never been through one, but
they said 50 houses were destroyed around Pelham, Oak Mountain area.
Yeah.
So off 119 is where it went towards, and then it went all the way towards 280 at Eagle Point. Saw several people on Facebook that had damage.
James Spann, the most famous weatherman in Alabama, probably didn't his house get hit? And he was doing a live weather report talking about him while his own house was being hit.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, he asked his wife. His wife was okay, and then he just went back on.
And Newnan, Georgia, a place that I know pretty well, which is the first town you get into right before you get to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
That huge suburb, it was hit hard. Newnan, Georgia, and our prayers and our thoughts.
This is tornado season, isn't it?
North of LaGrange.
Right.
March and April are it.
And the barbecue place there in
Newman?
Sprayberry.
Sprayberry.
Sprayberries. There's two of them. I've been there.
Where's barbecue I've ever eaten? Those people over there, a lot of raving over that. Boy, this barbecue place north of Troy had got the best pulled barbecue. But let me tell you this, y'all listen to this, Mike. I didn't realize that you could do this, and I don't know why I didn't realize. The other day, this past week, I went to our barbecue place, Hooks, and asked and got pulled barbecue on my sandwich. And that sandwich was wonderful. Adam, the pulled barbecue, the people will line up. I mean, they already love your barbecue, but you start giving them pulled barbecue on a sandwich. You gonna, like you and I ate that day?
That's what Jim do.
Was that good barbecue? It was pulled meat.
I thought that
instead of chopped meat off the butt, they pulled the meat off the butt.
Mike and I had a one-day barbecue pilgrimage where we ate 3 barbecue restaurants in one day in about 8 hours. It's never been equaled before. I mean, it might have been equal, but it's never been surpassed.
Well, tell them what you did. Tell them how that happened.
Well, we went to the Alabama-Troy baseball game, and Mike said, well, we're going to stop at the barbecue houses. So we stopped at the barbecue house north of Troy. Excellent. Then we went, then what is the most famous barbecue place on the way to Tuscaloosa? Jim's. It used to be, Twitch and Tween used to be just as famous. It's closed.
Jim's to me, is the best.
So then we went to Jim's, right there on the Autauga County line. And that was actually my favorite. That's the biggest jumbo barbecue sandwich I've ever had. I've always got the regular size, but we got the large size.
I know this. We had to stop the truck to eat it because
you could not eat it and drive. And
so we pulled 2 or 3 changes of shirts.
Yeah. So we pulled into. We
eating like Robin Hood too. You know?
I pulled into a little driveway of a country church so we could eat our barbecue safely. Then I said, well, heck, we've already eaten at these 2 places. We left the game a little early, and I said, we got to go to Dreamland. So we went to the original Dreamland and had barbecue ribs.
Big old slab of ribs cut up and eating like Robin Hood. Hey, eating like Robin Hood. You know, eating that
a slab and bread is all we had.
That's right, slab and bread.
We didn't get a beer. We were driving back.
You could have bought extra things, but what you get with a slab is some loaf of light bread, not regular bread, but light bread.
You know, I've been to Dreamland probably 8 times in my life, but I don't. They do have potato salad and coleslaw and stuff, but I don't. When I was there as a student in the '80s, I don't think that they had that. It was just slab of ribs and bread. That was all you could get.
And that's how he became famous, and it's a. I want to say it's an inner. It's a. They mix it in. The sauce has a lot of vinegar base.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, a lot of people are real passionate about the sauces and which type of sauce to use. And people are passionate about steaks and how to cook ribs. You know, boy, you get people going, you're going to have debates for an hour on the different ways to do it.
Exactly right.
I say you go to Hooks.
Yeah, and Hook and order the pulled barbecue. I'm just telling you now, it's good. His barbecue sandwiches are good, but hey, get the pulled barbecue and you've got a meal, and it's really, really good.
Matter of fact, we should have. Well, I mean, we should have. We stopped at those 3 because we were going north, but we should have gone to Hooks.
We could have got a breakfast,
and then we could have got 4.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that record would hold for a long time.
Well, everybody knows how good Hooks is, and another thing about Hooks, they got 2 other things that a lot of people just rave on about. One of them is the baked beans. Of course, the baked beans have got a lot of meat in it, a lot of pork in the baked beans. But the other thing is the rice, the chicken and the barbecue
really?
And the rice. Oh yeah,
I like their smoked chicken.
A lot of people love their rice.
Who was the original guy?
It's got the meat in it.
Mike, who was the original guy at Wilson's Barbecue? Who was the original cook or owner?
To me,
it's Mary's family.
Yeah.
Mary Williams' family.
Yeah, Mary Williams. You know, who's
You talking about Frank's mama?
No, Mary Ida Williams.
Mary Ida Williams.
Mary
okay.
Ida Williams, who's married to Jerry.
Everybody knows Jerry. Jerry had the Radio Shack for a long time.
And he had light.
Jerry Williams?
Yeah, Jerry Williams.
Okay.
And Jerry, I used to laugh at him. I'd see him out somewhere, at night, and I'd say, Jerry, remember you got to get up at 4:30 and go light the fire.
Well,
Somebody had to light the fire those pits.
How did it get the name Wilson's?
Well, that was their last name.
Okay, Wilson. Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson's Barbecue.
Okay.
His name was Wilson. One of the guys' name, Will.
Was it first name Wilson?
You know what?
Okay.
I don't know exactly how they might have been another maiden name.
But I remember those sweet ladies would wait on you.
Oh yeah.
And
one of the great.
I wonder when Wilson's closed.
Jerry Williams also has to go see everybody after they pass away too, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, he's the last man. He's the last man to say so long. Of course, Jerry's one of my dear friends.
Man, what a job that is. Wow.
Yeah. No question about it. But you know what? Some people like it. Evidently he likes it. He's been doing it for 25 years or more,
Actually, Raymond Style Shop says about a lot of people too. He does that last haircut.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And does a great job of it. Of course, Raymond was sort of under the weather himself. Tell us about what's going on in local sports.
Well, Troy basketball continues to try to figure out what to do as far as a program. Now, I'm reading an article that the 4-star Antoine Barnett out of City Lanier, the first 4-star recruit Troy ever had, is now entered the transfer portal. So now there's 2 kids that were probably some of the best best high school players Troy had ever recruited that have now left the program. Cam Woods, the kid that averaged 38 points a game out of Pensacola Valley, is in the portal. Burnett averaged 22 points a game and 11 rebounds at Sidney Lanier, is in the portal.
What happened to him this year, Mike?
Roy Stillett, the 6'10 forward out of a junior college in Texas, is also in the portal. So
oh boy,
3 kids off the team last year that are now gone.
Yeah, Florida lost a 3-year starter, Noah Locke from Baltimore, 3-year starter, averaged about 11 points a game, and led Florida with 57 three-pointers. Bye.
Yeah. You know what? You
And another
Yeah,
guard
I
left.
was hoping you were going to say who's coming to Troy. Because Troy's got to get some transfers. I think when you had Coach Cross on the show the other day, that he would much rather get grad transfers than junior college guys, and maybe Troy can get a few guys. They desperately need to figure out things in that 3rd year, because you try to bring in these great high school players, and obviously they weren't ready for the college environment, it looks like.
Oh boy, I tell you, I'm concerned because it's going to affect recruiting like nothing else is.
But I tell you though, it's nothing shocking. This happens to every program pretty much. It's now a carousel of just players in and out. Right. So you lose 3 players for transfers. What do? You get 3 to transfer in. Yeah, the recruiting is now not of high school kids, it's of the transfers, the people.
And just think of all the NCAA football players who have not found a home. Because there's not, if they want to go to the bigger school, hey, the bigger schools have already filled their slots for the most part. And so they're just out there in limbo where they're going to have to transfer to another school. And
I mean, I'm upset, though, because I really thought Troy was going to build their program with these young guys.
Yeah.
Miles, the guard out of Robert Lee, was phenomenal. And, probably led Troy in scoring late in the season, scored 20 several times. And then you had the kid from Pinson that averaged 11 points a game. And then Burnett, I thought, was hurt most of the season, but maybe he was just in the doghouse. But with those 3 guys as a nucleus, I really thought Troy was about to be really good here in a couple of years.
Yep.
Well, it remains to be seen. Hopefully he can go out and find some people that can play. And but now the numbers that he can sign, is it numbers on?
Well, he said the 2 seniors can come back.
Okay.
So the 2 seniors can come back, and then that wouldn't count against your total. So basically, he would have now 5 scholarships available at least. But they might have some more of these other guys that leave the program. did you see how lucky Texas A&M is? The women won yesterday in overtime against Iowa State on a buzzer beater.
Yeah, I saw that.
They must have found a 4-leaf clover or something. They got a lot of luck right now.
You know, go ahead.
No, I will say that they trailed by 12 points at one time in the game, and I enjoyed watching that team play, both of them. It was really a good game.
All the number 1 and 2 seeds are left in that tournament, and there are 3 teams in the men's NCAA tournament and the women's NCAA tournament that there's 3 schools that have a chance to win both.
Okay.
Oregon, Iowa, and Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the women, they're down to the Sweet 16.
The women from Iowa, is that right?
The women from Iowa,
yeah.
yes, sir, and the men from Iowa. And so those 3 schools have both teams left in the Sweet 16.
Iowa doesn't have the men's, do they?
Don't they?
How did Belmont do with our Charles Simpson point guard?
Yeah, how did Belmont do in the second round?
They got beat, but
Now scratch that. Iowa does not. It's just Oregon and Baylor.
yeah. But it's got all the scores, and they're interesting. Some of the upsets in this tournament.
Have y'all ever filled out a women's college basketball bracket?
No, I didn't fill it. I didn't fill one out.
The highest.
No, I'm just saying, have you ever in your life?
No, I haven't.
No,
I have not either.
But I'm getting more and more interested in it, though.
I like I guess it depends on how good the teams you pull for are in the sport. But in the women's sports, I'm the most interested in softball. Probably because Alabama's had such a good softball program.
Oh yeah.
There's nobody higher than a 6th seed in that tournament left. It's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and above.
The women,
there's no upsets.
There are no upsets much in women's basketball, and then you see tons of blowouts of really lopsided scores. So the disparity between the top teams and the other teams is stark.
But boy, they didn't blow Troy out.
Belmont got beat 70-48.
Golly.
Mm-hmm.
But they finished the season 21-6, so they had a great year.
Sure did.
And of course, they the little girl, the young lady from Charles Henderson, started on that team and contributed quite a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, she had a good game. She had a 10 points, 1 assist, and 9 rebounds. She's little to have 9 rebounds.
Mike, have you done any research on our big girl? How did she do?
She didn't play
I don't
much.
think Davenport's playing much for Georgia. Is she, Ford?
No, she's not.
See,
Add Michigan to that chance to win.
She's just a bench player, pretty much.
What if he had gone to Troy as a rebounder and a block and a girl to block shots? She wouldn't have to score. She would have been a rebounder and block shots. She would have really helped Troy.
I don't know, man. With Karanga and Dye, would she even be able to play at Troy? Those are two pretty good center and forwards.
Yeah, they probably got a little bit more wheels than
I
what
always
boys got
thought
right now.
that the only thing she lacked was toughness, real meanness. On the court. A girl like that's got to really be physical, real physical. And I didn't feel like she was as physical as she could be. But other than that, I thought she had all the tools.
She got a couple years left, 3 years left.
Oh yeah, that's right. And I thought she had all the.
You get this past year back.
Yeah.
This past year back is going to help a lot of players be better. I mean, a lot of players that were just mediocre this season are going to be much better next year because they get an extra year. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
We've never seen it like this.
I wish. That's good. Yeah, I still feel for the high school kids that had their senior seasons of cut out, and especially baseball.
Oh yeah.
And they can't get another year of high school, and then your senior year when you're in sports is a big deal.
Yeah,
and that's going to be the year
no
when
proms.
Yeah,
exactly. Of course, we've got a lot of baseball coming up this weekend in Troy. We've got Central Florida coming to town tonight, one of the top programs in the country, to play Troy 3 games. So that's going to be Friday night at 6. Saturday afternoon at 3, and normally that's where they do it. And then at home again on Sunday at 1 o'clock. So going to be some real good baseball.
How does that artificial turf drain?
They got
Real
a system
good,
under there.
real good. It's made to drain off in just a matter of time. I mean, matter of let's
Minutes?
say 30 minutes, something like that. That they can. I'm sure they do something to push it off, but it's dry after that.
And is it the whole field, or is it just is the outfield?
Yeah, but
Not,
all of it's
All of it.
the only thing that's not artificial is the pitcher's mound.
I was looking at Davenport's stats. Davenport plays 6 minutes a game, 6.9 minutes a game. She averages 1.8 points and 1.5 rebounds.
Boy, oh boy.
The lady
She went to a
Trojan,
program that might have been a little bit bigger than she anticipated. She should have gone to Troy, or gone to Tennessee and played for.
But you got to look like Jay Barker's daughter. She's Sarah Ashley Barker. She plays 17 minutes a game. This is the state player of the year in Alabama. Plays Spain Park, and she averages 5.1 points a game and 2.7 rebounds. So I mean, she struggled as well. It takes a while.
She plays at Georgia. Yeah, you're right. You're
yeah,
right.
you let them.
And a lot of it is being physical. You've got to be physical to play this game, even the girls' game. You know what I mean? You can't paticate around, boy. That big girl, like for Texas A&M, that big girl, once she got the ball, she went to the hoop and she either got fouled or scored and was fouled. So
I mean, she had to be, like, I'm not trying to be mean, but she had to be 6'4", 250 pounds. What'd you say?
probably, and she was just a great player. I mean, had great hands. When she got that ball, buddy, she'd go into the hoop, and she fouled all these guys out too.
Yeah,
fouled all Troy guys out, and she was
the
the difference in the game.
My favorite restaurant down here today, Sunnyside Grill. I've been sitting up there talking to Glenn a lot lately, Dad, and they're open only now Wednesday through Sunday. But anybody coming to the beach, if you want the best omelet, pancake, country ham, and then at lunch, their meatloaf, fried chicken, vegetables. I mean, I love that place. It's a free advertisement on my part, but I've been going there since I was a little kid.
And I tell you what, the food is excellent, and I mean, it's a good. Hey, if you like fried eggs and grits and ham and toast
And who doesn't?
Or those potatoes that are so popular. It's
I'm over here
it's
salivating.
a wonderful, wonderful
They
place.
got some interesting bumper stickers in there to look at.
Yeah,
too.
oh, yeah.
There at the bar eating
A
lunch.
lot of dollars, a lot of dollar bills in there.
He's a huge Alabama fan, a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Yeah, that's right.
hey, I like that.
His uncle, you could see him back there. When his uncle owned the place, he was quite a character. It'd be 6 o'clock in the morning, and he's back there drinking a cold beer and frying eggs.
Yeah, not many places you can go that you're the guy back there cooking, making your omelet and drinking a beer at the same time.
And the food and the pancakes are wonderful. I mean, they're as good a pancakes as you'll ever eat anywhere. And you can feed your family reasonable too.
When you walk in, you're probably going to walk out because it looks like just a shack. It's not impressive on the inside, but man, it's always packed.
Let me tell you one
Well, that's
thing
just
different
like
from
the original Dreamland. I mean, what?
Well, let me tell you something that is different. Is you can't pay you can pay with only cash, no credit cards.
Cash or check?
Cash or checks, no credit cards. I don't know why he's like that. Hey, you know what? He would probably don't tell us how many people that walk in there and find out that they don't take a credit card to walk out. Don't tell them how much business they've lost.
They lose money on that. They lose money on credit card fees and stuff like that.
Yeah, they do.
That's the reason you save money that way.
Yeah, and is it crowding up down there?
Yeah, I was telling my wife, I feel like it's actually gotten more crowded as the week has gone on. There's more people down here now than Monday and Tuesday, so it seems like it's going to be real busy over the weekend.
Now, let me just tell the folks, people that don't know this. It is to my knowledge, it's the only beach in the western side of Florida, that you can actually drive on the beach. You can drive your vehicle on the beach.
You have to have a permit.
You got to have a permit, but you can drive your house.
To go out on the beach.
You can drive your pickup truck out to where you want to tailgate.
I love it.
And you want to set up camp, out there.
He is in one of the coolest areas in America.
Yeah. And then they've got the world famous Red Barn.
I'm very lucky because I'm raising 4 and 3-year-old little girls, and I don't want to lug all this stuff down the beach and lug all of it back.
You're exactly right. But it's just a perfect situation for somebody that does have the permit, and now also the fish come in there, the fishing boats, and they come in, put in there too. So it's pretty busy, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's fun though for the girls. All these guys go out for 4 hours in the morning, then 4 hours in the afternoon, so you can watch all the fish. They hang them up. So all the people they take out can take pictures of them, so you can kind of see what they're catching.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let me ask you some 30A trivia. I bet you or your wife would know. How many houses are there in Seaside, approximately, would you say? They stack them in
the original lot?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000?
I don't know. We were talking to a guy about when Seaside got built yesterday, and you know what he was talking about, Dad? He was talking about the Wheelhouse restaurant. Remember that?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, we used to eat there a lot. And you know what I loved? They had amberjack on their buffet. I thought it was wonderful.
That was
I would say there's probably at least 300 lots. I mean, probably Seaside altogether now, because they're all right on top of each other.
But you go back across the street, and I mean, I thought it would be more than that, but you might be right. That was a significant development across America, because other people emulated them, including the Waters to some effect in Pike Road.
The Waters, I rode through the Waters not too long ago, and
I think once Seaside, the Truman Show, the movie was there, I think that's when it nationally became so popular. They had, everybody's kind of wondering where that place was, because Jim Carrey was such a popular actor. I don't think the movie had great success, but I think a lot of people watched it.
No, yeah, it still holds up. It's a fascinating movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, a sad day for Troy University. They lost one of their all-time great people, and Mike. You have great people that have had an effect on your livelihood and your campus and so forth. And Dr. Doug Patterson is going to be thoroughly missed by the whole Troy family. This is a death that is sad for the family, and at the same time, what a wonderful, wonderful legacy he leaves at Troy, and he had his finger in on everything good that's ever happened at Troy University, including 1A. He had a lot to do with the 1A situation.
And he
was being bigger than some of the local people, but he could see it. He could see it and understand Troy could go to Division 1A, and they have. They've proven that. And look at the quality of sports at Troy now compared to to our rival Jacksonville State.
Look at the facilities.
And places like that, North Alabama. We left them sitting there, and we went 1A, and they didn't, and the rest is history.
I don't know, Dad. Jacksonville State's pretty close for 1AA. I mean, their stadium holds 27,000, totally redone. I mean, they're very close to a Sun Belt program. They could jump into the Sun Belt pretty quick.
Yeah,
if they could ever get up there.
Yeah, that's right. And so far,
Johnny Williams had a big part in that program as well. I don't know if a lot of people don't realize that Johnny's been their advisor.
He's the one that helped them design their stadium. Their stadium is designed quite a bit like Troy's. It has 8 stories. Connection has 8 stories, and it's a dome. And you know what? And part of it's a dome.
Really?
Part of the 8 stories is a dome.
14,000 seat stadium.
Yeah, and over the years, there's been some great games there. But
You know, it really.
Hey, thank goodness we're Troy, and thank goodness we're not Jacksonville. We're Division 1A in football, and you can't take that away.
There's a lot of hurdles you got to jump over to make it to qualify for Division One, and Troy did it at the right time, didn't they?
Well, they did it at the right time, but at the same time they had to wait a while. You know, their program had to wait and be put on hold. But then it started booming, and you know, like it hurt us in basketball. You know,
terribly, yeah.
And you know, baseball was, I don't think, missed a beat, and football has been steady, real steady. But thank goodness Troy University is D1A, and Dr. Patterson.
Well, Dr. Patterson was, like you said, was involved in every big decision. I bet he was key to executing these plans. You can come up with the plans, but you need people to make them happen. And he was the quarterback of that effort.
When you saw Chancellor Hawkins, you saw Doug Patterson and Colonel Smith.
That's right. And let me tell you this. The chancellor had no better friend than Doug Hawkins, from all the way from college days and going into the Marine Corps. Both of them were second lieutenants in the Marine Corps, and it was something that tickled me, and something I read the other day, Rice. When they went to Vietnam, they flew on the same airplane. Now, to think about this now. Thousands and thousands of soldiers were going to Vietnam, and he and Dr. Patterson were on the same plane.
What's the odds of that?
Plane, and then coming back from Vietnam, they were again on the same plane. And see, they weren't in the same units or anything, but they were on the same plane.
Wow,
yeah, the odds of that.
And how would you like to be sitting there? And happy as you be, and your best friend is sitting right next door to you. You know, and I thought it was great. But it was a great friendship, and they could write a book about each other. You know, how unbelievable the efforts of those two men have done to help Troy University grow, from Dr. Jack Hawkins to Dr. Doug Patterson. I don't know if there's ever been a combination that could equal them. They both were
great team.
Were just great people, and his the legacy of the people that he's touched will make Doug Patterson forever remembered.
Well said. Thank you.
You know, the Lady Trojans in softball, they'll be participating in the Lady Vol Challenge in Knoxville. They're going to play Furman tomorrow at 11 o'clock, then Tennessee tomorrow afternoon at 4. Then on Sunday they'll play Furman at 10 in the morning, and on Sunday they'll play Tennessee at 12:30. Then next week the Lady Trojans will travel to play UAB.
Yeah.
So the Lady Trojans, they're like 22-6, I believe.
And they're loaded. Hey, they're loaded. They've got a great program at Troy with those great pitchers, and I mean, they're good defensively, and I'm sure they've got some firepower on offense. But what they went with is pitching. Don't you agree?
So next Sunday, not this Sunday, is Easter. Is that correct? That's crazy.
In your Easter bonnet with all the frills upon it, you'll be the grandest lady in the Easter parade on the avenue. Bum, 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 bum. 5th Avenue, bum, 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 bum. The photographers will strike you. Bum, 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 bum. See, Forrest, you're not the only one on this panel that can sing.
Too bad you don't know the words.
I don't know the words all of them either. But Forrest Lee, he comes up here every morning and said, he's going to want me to sing a song. He's going to want me to sing a song.
I need the word.
How about next Friday in Troy? It's going to be 35 degrees again. It's going to be a little cold.
Yeah. Something that'll tickle you, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, like we say, we're about as laid back as you can get on a television show. But he asked me this morning what was my favorite box song, and And I said, well, it will stand. And a lot of people don't even know the name, but play It Will Stand, or the beginning of It Will Stand. And I'm on the dance floor with my favorite dance partner, Joe Ray, and I'm fixing to dance to this song right here.
You're going to dance on the show?
Got that perfect bop rhythm. Yeah, I would like to.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone, so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them. Protect them.
Are we on Facebook every day?
Are we back live?
Back to our show, and of course, yes, we are on Facebook, and yes, he's Bill Rice Jr., and yes, he's Forrest Lee, and yes, he's Mike Amos, and I'm Mike Amos, Michael Amos Sr., and of course, Mike calling from Great Beach, Florida. Where are most of these people from that are coming down there, Mike?
I think he went on a little break, Mike did, but in the meantime, there's a blood drive today at Troy Bank and Trust on Park Street at their mortgage location. You can give blood between 12 and 5 p.m. and there is a blood shortage. So if you can give blood today at the Troy Bank and Trust blood drive, located on Park Street, 615 Park Street, between 12 and 5.
You're going to get a kick out of this. We're going to come back in a minute, but I got it. Once I get something on my tongue, I got to go ahead and say it. You know, he's probably gone to some little water break or some bathroom break, and I can always remember when he's growing up, and you might can remember this with your children. You could always tell if your kids had to go to the bathroom, and they were in the outfield. They were in the outfield. They were walking around. They were walking around real fast, and they were walking around in the outfield. But then I said, "Look, go replace Michael. Let me get him in here so he can go to the bathroom." But that was the truth. If you ever see your children being anxious, you know.
Oh yeah, you can tell.
He was saying, "Oh, that inning. I didn't think that inning would ever end. I had to go to the bathroom." But that was just one of the things that we learned growing up with these kids.
I've got one right now that's 5 years old. I know exactly what you're talking about, and you can tell.
Start walking around.
Go to the bathroom. You gotta go to the bathroom.
It gets sort of anxious, and they want to know when this inning is going to end. You know, if it doesn't end, they got to go to the bathroom.
Gotta go.
I saw that Biden had his very first press conference as president yesterday.
What now?
I didn't watch it.
Let me just say something. A dear friend of mine told me this, that he looked inept as far as being able to talk and
well, people are worried about his mental state and whether he might be developing dementia or Alzheimer's. You know, I'm as guilty as anybody of just losing your train of thought sometimes.
Oh man, me too.
But if you're president of the United States, I think it's a legit issue. I think he did okay, but there were a couple moments. But that's the speculation, is that they are hiding him from the press, where everything he does is pretty much scripted or short bursts. Where
Forrest, you saw that.
I saw some of it.
What did you think?
I saw some of it. I thought when he was asked some certain questions, he went all the way around the answer and never did really answer it.
Yeah.
Well, that's all politicians.
You know that guy that's got to be just saying stuff. I am 78 years old. I've been in politics for 48 years.
That's right.
Ran for president 2 other times, didn't even come close. How in the world am I the president of the United States? I mean, that guy is a miracle.
Yeah.
You know, he wants.
I think he's one of the nicest guys. He's a nice guy, and he wants to be a good president. But I don't know if he's mentally capable.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just like still like to this day one of the more shocking things that's ever happened in politics.
Yeah, nothing shocks me about politics anymore.
But you look at it.
I know, but I'm just talking about this guy.
Yeah.
Nobody ever. I mean, of course, he was vice president, which is, I guess, as high as you can go, not be the president. But man, I mean, he's 78, about to be 79.
That's right. And you can just almost see it in his eyes. He's trying to read that teleprompter or whatever you call it out front of him to pretty much
stay on track.
Presentation, But
what are they saying about the Boulder shooter? Is that terrorist? Was that terrorism?
I don't think so.
I thought he's from Syria.
I haven't.
I don't even want to get into that, Mike, if we can help it.
Well, no, I mean, I had just heard that. I didn't know at the time that it was possibly, a terrorist attack. So I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't really want to get into it.
Getting into anything. I just feel like that's just something that is important. If that's really what that is.
Yeah. What do you think, Rice? You look at it pretty
We
deep.
haven't dealt with that in a long time.
No, haven't really. I've just read the headlines. I just thought.
I realize more than anything, it's a copycat. It's a copycat.
AL.com guy. What's his name, Rice? You're on all the articles about?
Oh yeah, I called out Joseph Goodman, the sports columnist for AL.com, because he wrote a series of columns back in July and August, pretty much lobbying for the cancellation of football season. I mean, he just was blatant about it as far as I'm concerned. Don't play. It's too dangerous. It's going to be a disaster. This is ridiculous. The SEC's playing. Should have followed the Big Ten and the Pac-12, blah, blah, blah. And then I just finally thought, buddy, he's also written all these nice columns about Alabama's cool players and people like Najee Harris and all the great stuff about Alabama basketball teams done. I said, you do realize that all of this neat stuff and memorable, great events that happened would have never happened if you had your way. Just think of and that's just Alabama's team. You include high school teams and other teams, all the good memories, memorable events, the sense of normalcy that the fans got. So nobody ever goes back and calls these people on, what they wanted and said before that now looks. And I went back and found his columns and included about 18 quotes of what he had said, months ago, and then they all look ridiculous today.
What do you think about? We also heard so many stories about universities were going to close and shut down, and athletic budgets and athletic programs were going to shut down. I don't feel like you've heard about that as much as everybody did on the day.
That's true.
The first big sign I see of possible or potential trouble is when they're going to charge $5 to go to the 8-day game.
Yeah.
Alabama's going to charge $5, Alabama's never had to do that, but evidently they must feel.
I never got it. I mean, it's easy money. People will pay it. I mean, you go ahead.
Yeah, they'll pay it. Yeah. I'd pay $10, wouldn't you? Or $15.
Well, you get 30,000 people times 5. That's $150,000 you have.
And Troy, the same way. It would be a good fundraiser for Troy. I think people would be glad to pay $5 or $10 to go to see Troy's T-Day game.
Well, anyway, here's the data on college athletics. They've been testing athletes for 8 or 9 months. 0 have died. I think about 3 in the whole country out of 6.5 million athletes, if you count high school, might be 8 million, have been hospitalized. So 0 deaths, 1 in 2 million athletes hospitalized. And then the people that did test positive, probably 85 to 90% of them were either asymptomatic or had very mild symptoms. So even the people that were cases didn't get quote unquote sick. So yes, COVID is a big deal and very scary for the older population, but for 18 to 22-year-old athletes, that there's virtually statistically no risk. And that has been known for months and months and months and months. and still you had people saying let's cancel football. I don't know what these athletes would have been doing if they weren't playing football. They would have been in their apartment.
It was one of the best things we could have done, really, to keep people's minds off of all that and
right.
as much, and so forth.
I was going to mention, if anybody wants to get the vaccine, Florida's wide open now. It's going 40 and up starting on the 29th. If you're 40 and older, you can get the vaccine. And now they announced yesterday that starting the week after that, which will be April the 5th, everybody can get the vaccine in Florida.
Oh, that's wonderful. Good. But do you have to be a resident of Florida?
Well, I mean, it's one of those type things. I mean, maybe you could probably try it over, I would think. I mean, they're getting to the point where they're just giving it to everybody, it sounds like.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's wonderful. I tell you what, let me tell you what.
Or any kind of land or anything like that, you definitely can get it in Florida for sure.
All people need to do is look at the record, and they would probably want this governor of Florida to be president.
I like him.
A lot of folks like this guy.
Yeah, and he will. Rice prediction. I love making them. He'll be the front runner in 3 years presidential race.
He's for the people. He's for the people.
Well, what he did is
service industry especially.
He kind of ignored the so-called experts on some of these policy decisions and was ridiculed and smeared and attacked for it. But as it turns out, the COVID numbers in Florida are much better than Alabama, America on average.
During all of this going on, let me show you something for you Parkinson's patients or you people that know people with Parkinson's patients.
Much better. God. Is that the light of day?
I can't see y'all anymore.
Well, let me just say this. Hey, I'm showing two hands that are not shaking.
Amazing.
And after having brain surgery, this procedure that they do in Birmingham, Dr. Guthrie did a magnificent job on me, and I've still got some flaws and maybe some other things that are wrong with me. But right now, y'all have seen me shake all the time on this show, like this so many times. But look,
amazing.
Thank
you. I'm a poster boy for the
you and Joe Watson.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, my good friend Joe Watson downtown Troy had the same surgery a week before me, and his bravery and I'm telling you,
that encourage
you got to be a little brave to have your brain operated on, have your skull opened, and they stick something in your brain. But Joe was the one that had more courage than anybody about it, and he went on in there like a champ, came out like a champ, and he now can eat, and he now can write a prescription, and so forth. That is things he couldn't do, and he's been able to do it.
Thank you.
I'll be glad to answer any of your questions, ladies and gentlemen out there. You can call me up on my cell phone.
If you know somebody, yeah.
And I'll be glad to share that.
Didn't you say that my friend Steve Barris had real bad Parkinson's and he had this operation and it changed his life?
Did Steve have the same one? I need to go out there and see Steve. Let's go find Steve one day, and I'd like to go see him, maybe buy him breakfast.
Okay, yeah, we need to.
How's Forrest Lee's hair growing back? I can't see it all.
It's good.
It can be back quickly.
It's pretty good. In 1 week, it's up there.
Kids in the elementary schools, ladies and gentlemen, since Forrest started coming on the TV and everything, now teachers are portraying Forrest as one of the real leaders in our community. And there's a song that the kids sing every morning. Forrest Lee, brave, courageous, and bold. We'll be back in just a moment.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Starting April 1st, all your local county and school board meetings will be moving to BBTV Channel 17. Catch Pike County Commission, Troy City Council, and school board meetings live on Facebook, YouTube, and BBTV, brought to you by Troy Cable.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you were out. Troy Cable Security. You love them. Protect
She was a
them.
wonderful girl.
Brandon's got several players on the radar.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen. We were talking prior to the coming back just a moment ago that the Alex Wilcox Memorial softball tournament's going on in Brantley, and what a wonderful, wonderful girl she was. Courageous and outstanding athlete, and but just a precious girl, and it's living with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in heaven. She's in paradise. She's living the life of all lives, and we're celebrating her what she did on earth. And of course, this tournament is called the Alex Wilcox Memorial Tournament. So we appreciate her so much. What a great legacy she left with children everywhere.
You know, Brantley's got 4 girls on the radar as some of the best players in the state of Alabama.
Really?
And they're
got another pitcher in softball or what?
Well, I don't know if they're pitching. Yeah, let's see. Shantae Barganier, she's a junior. Caden Dunn is a junior from Brantley. Lauren Hudson says senior pitcher from Brantley. And Ansley Watts, Brantley, a sophomore, didn't list her position, but they've got 4 girls in 1A on the radar as some of the best players in the state of Alabama.
Mayor, if you can call us from Brantley this morning, we'd love to talk to you, because we need to know what y'all are feeding these girls so that they become such wonderful pitchers in softball.
And they're ranked number 1 in baseball.
Ranked number 1 again, Brantley, the title town. Give us a message from Titletown. Anybody that's watching our show this morning that knows a lot about the athletic program at Brantley, we'd love to talk to you, because hey, it's something y'all are doing. They've asked the same thing about Long High Sipperville, and they've asked the same thing about Arrington and a lot of other places.
There's a new coach coming into Strawn High School, Ashley Kilcrease. He went to Andalusia as an administrator, but he's getting back in coaching. He'll be at Strawn High School.
I tell you what, the people of Strawn, they had the great coach that went to Andalusia.
Trent Taylor.
Yeah, went to Andalusia and doing a super job at Andalusia. But hey, look out! He left Strawn, but look who's coming to Strawn.
There's others coming, but it hadn't been official yet. There's others coming with him.
Probably be some players moving into that area.
There's some other big-time coaches that will come in and help him, from what I understand. We'll see.
But Strawn, located right out in the middle of nowhere. You've been to Rose Hill, right? Go to
Country boys.
You never gone that back route.
Maybe I have.
You don't see anything until you come to Strawn High School. Is that right, Mike?
I'll tell you what, they have a nice high school, though.
I know a real nice high school.
Is that where you turned in Brantley to go to Andalusia? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's right. I tell you what, it's definitely a title town fixing to start right there.
The Tigers.
And of course, Coach
Strong.
Gilchrist does a great job. And let me tell you, hey, you listen to this. Look at this with money. If you got money, you can get any coach you want.
There'll be either 2 or 3A, maybe 4. I'm not sure what their classification is.
But
probably 3 or 4.
You know what I've always.
Coach Taylor won there, and now he'll probably win there again. I mean,
Coach
Gilchrist will win there again.
You know what might help education is if you could recruit the best teachers, like you recruit coaches, and could pay them more.
Yeah, that's right.
There's really no competition, but if your school system was lagging and you could get, 3 great elementary teachers, 3 in middle school and 3 in high school, but you can entice them from their school districts by offering them $20,000 extra, that would do it. But
it probably starts with an 18-year-old kid. What can I do as a profession? And some of the retirement has a lot to do with that. What would their retirement be? And at one time, if you were a beginning teacher, you couldn't, if you did 30 years and say you turned 52, you couldn't draw your retirement till age 60. But I think they changed it back. Once you get 25 years in, then you can draw the next year. You've got to do some things for the younger people to get interested in teaching.
I always thought it was strange with teachers. Like, you always, I should have been a teacher. I could have had my summers off. But, man, it seems like teachers do a lot during the summer as well.
Nowadays, let me tell you, they're coaching football from June on.
Oh,
from June on. I mean, the second week in June, they're practicing football.
Stuff to do during the summer too. I mean,
well,
isn't that right?
I think that was a terrible.
yeah, they've got all
I
these.
think that was a terrible move the Alabama High School Athletics Association did on when coaches can take their players and be on the field with their players. I mean, give these kids a month off,
Well,
there's no way I would have wanted to do that when I played. I would have wanted to go to the beach.
About 2 years ago, the first day teachers had to be back in school was the 31st of July.
That's right.
And it was like a 10-day post of pre-planning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the
31st of July. So
that they're back
kids
for
come back
10
middle.
days or so with no kids, and then they go to these continuing education workshops and things like that all the
And
time.
you're usually
They
out on
opened
Thursday or
up,
Friday.
if I had a can of worms, I will open it up right here in front of you. They opened up a can of worms. I tell you, that is crazy.
Should, remember all schools in Alabama, public schools, had the same spring break called AEA.
Yeah, that's right.
We
From
called it
Wednesday, I think when I was in school, we got Wednesday through the weekend. Maybe Thursday and Friday.
And who was the king of the AA forever?
Ed Richardson.
No,
I'm sorry.
Paul Hubbard.
Paul Hubbard, you're right.
And wasn't he once the superintendent of schools in Troy, Alabama?
That's right. And the guy that was chairman of the education board was
Joe
Roy
Reed?
Crow.
Oh, Roy Crow, really?
Roy Crow hired him.
Really?
I wish David Bonner was 40 years old. He's over the retirement system.
Yeah. And I tell you what, David Bonner, no one person has ever done more for a city, maybe in America, than David Bonner. I mean, he made Montgomery look like something.
I mean, look at that building he built in Mobile. That's like 34.
Oh, I know. And David Bronner, let me tell you, and those golf courses. How about all those great golf courses across the country?
Bronner.
David Bronner is an amazing man. He really, really is.
He's kind of a cocky, arrogant man.
Oh yeah, he's a Yankee. He came. There's nothing wrong with a Yankee, but he's a guy that came in here to this town and started making things happen. And hey, they love him.
Yeah,
loves him.
Well, who doesn't love him is the other developers. That what did he do? He got all the
That's right.
He got all the state agencies to be tenants in his buildings.
Exactly.
So the taxpayer money is going into and that kind of hurts the people that were trying to compete with them.
Exactly.
That's the other side of the story.
Exactly. What he did.
I will say
instead of
downtown Montgomery's a lot better than what I remember when I was a kid.
No question.
Oh yeah, it's made it.
And instead of those folks having to pay rent to local entities, they just started paying
to the retirement system.
To the retirement system, and the retirement system started building buildings to house all these employees that they were bringing into the fold. And I was a part of that.
I bet your agency is in one of those Bronner buildings.
That's right, and I was a part of that for a long time, and it was amazing.
The green top buildings. I was married on the balcony of the main one, the tall one there,
right.
the Capital City Club.
A lot of people have been married on top of that building, and it is just a wonderful building that.
But you know who the
spearheads everything else.
I did a lot of work there at one time. And I found out that there's about 6 of those floors. It's a 23-story building, I think. It's the Alabama Department of Public Health. It's just a massive number of people.
And of course, they have a club. What do they call it?
Capital City Club.
Capital City Club located up there, and you can be a member and have.
I used to be a member. Yeah.
It's really great. Finish telling us about what's happening in sports this week.
Well, let's see if I can find it here.
You got Alabama playing UCLA in the Sweet 16. We need to probably talk about that.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think about that game, Mike? Is Alabama up to it?
Well, you would think that Alabama will be able to beat UCLA, considering they've given up more threes than probably any team in the country. And Alabama shoots more threes than any team in the country. The line's around 6.5, 7 right now.
Yeah. Okay.
But UCLA is hot.
UCLA's got tradition, and they've won 3 games. They won the play-in game, and they've won 2 games to get to the Sweet 16, so they're red hot.
After he does his report, Boris does his report of local sports, we're going to go to and make our predictions on the basketball tournament.
What I have is Charles Henson will play Milton today in baseball in Florida. Then tomorrow they're supposed to play Pensacola Catholic. There's a Lady Trojans tournament today. They're playing in the Brantley tournament in Pike Liberal Arts. The baseball team is playing Pace High School out of Pensacola today. And so that's what I've got local stuff. But it'll pick back up real heavy next week because I know the public schools are going to start playing area baseball against area opponents. And some news as far as it relates to the, see if I can find my notes here. In the high school rankings are out. In 7A, Enterprise is ranked number 15, Dothan's 14, and 5A, you got Tallahassee.
Baseball?
This is softball.
Oh,
softball. Tallahassee's ranked 2, Brubaker Tech 3, Rehoboth 13 in 5A. And 4A, Dale County is ranked number 6. In 3A, you got Houston Academy's number 2, Ops 6. In 2A, George W. Long is ranked number 4 with an 11-2 record. In 1A, Brantley is number 1 with a 10-5 record. Kinston's number 8. And for the first time I can remember, Pike Liberal Arts Lady Patriots are ranked number 1 in AISA with a 17-7 record. So both the baseball team and the softball team at Pike Liberal Arts are ranked number 1.
The veteran coach, I think he told us he was going to be leaving.
Robert Rowland.
Mm-hmm.
What now?
And Robert Rowland.
Oh yeah, Robert Rowland does a great job. He really does.
Yeah.
Well, that's something
what they were doing when
to have the girls and the boys both number 1. The boys will be going for a 3-peat, and if they can win the state championship in baseball, that'll be 3 state championships in a row for the 3 major sports, which has only been done by 2 other teams in AISA history.
And Macon East is ranked number 2 with a 22-9 record in lady softball, and Lakeside's ranked number 9. So those are softball rankings. We gave the baseball rankings yesterday.
normally, and I used to officiate up in North Alabama some. North Alabama kids were usually dominant over South Alabama kids in basketball. They really were, and in girls basketball. I'm talking about girls basketball, and they for a long time they were in men.
Let me ask you about your basketball refereeing.
All right, but one thing I was going to mention.
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Hey, well, you might have killed my thought.
But you're talking about girls and North Alabama being dominant in basketball.
Now, in softball, it looks like South Alabama girls are better than North Alabama girls in softball.
Well, here's what I've got. Number 1 in 7A is Hewitt Trussville. Number 1 in 6A is Athens. Number 1
Alabama.
in 5A is Faith Academy, Mobile. Number 1 in 4A is Curry. Where's Curry?
That's not North Alabama.
All right. In 3A, Prattville Christian is ranked number 1.
That's right.
Number 2 is Pisgah.
And that's North Alabama.
That's 2A. Number 1 in 1A is Brantley.
Yeah.
So it's about mixed up right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And
about
what was
half
your
and half.
question about basketball officiating?
Well, I was just, you did a lot of basketball officiating. That's one of the many hats you've worn.
Long time. Hey, long time.
Yeah, but did you have to get in shape? Didn't you have to be in pretty good shape to do that, run up and down the court? Or?
Well, I did for a long time, and I was in pretty good shape, and that's not very good shape now, but I enjoyed it.
Were you tired after those games, or was it a workout?
No,
Well, he do 3 games in a row.
I do. I would do 3 games.
Who were some of the guys you reffed with? Gene Hansen or Scotty?
I officiated with both Gene Henson and Scotty, and I was around 25 years and so forth, and I had some real fun, and also I did a lot of junior college girls and boys basketball, and I went all over the state. I've done games in Florence before.
How would they do? Would they pay you mileage, or would they?
Oh yeah, they pay you mileage, and they pay you a lot more than they did back then. But after you get paid mileage and a fee, it was worth it. It was worth it.
You used to do West Florida games in Pensacola.
Yeah, that's right. You used to do West Florida, University of West Florida, and Jacksonville State.
So I guess there's a lot of times that
a lot of Montevallo games.
The coaches and fans really got on you pretty hard, or no?
Yeah, they called me Curly, and I see back then I had real curly hair, ladies and gentlemen. And it would probably be curly now if I let it continue to grow.
Mike, you gave me a technical when Goshen played Brantley.
No,
I'm kidding.
I wasn't got it. Hey, look, just like that right here. Hey, it's a technical foul on you. And, Coach, if you say anything else, it's another technical foul, and you are out of here.
You know, the only basketball referee I can even remember was Bruce Benedict. Used to be a college, might still be a college referee, and he did a lot of Troy's basketball games.
I was sort of a showman a little bit. Like, I mean,
Scotty.
instead of doing
Scotty, of course.
Scotty was
and I learned from Scotty. Scotty was a great official. But let's just say traveling. You get your hand up like this and you say traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's the difference of getting your hand up like this and say traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Quicker. And if he holds, he holds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if he pushes, he pushed.
You show it.
So what I'm saying, I was a little bit. I had a little flair about me, and be honest with you, it helped me in officiating. I mean, they people wanted me to officiate their games sometimes.
And it was you and one other person. Did you do work with the same person?
I worked very little with 3-man crew. They came in later, pretty much, and that really makes it easy to officiate once you got 3 people instead of 2. But when you have 2, you had to run the length of the court.
I know it.
So forth, and
What
over
would
and
you do
over.
when the ball would get stuck up there?
And my that would
go up there and jump up and get it.
that would be a jump ball situation if it's stuck in there. Mike, tell them what I had to have though for energy during the game.
Yeah, his dad would run up and down the court, and I'd be watching him running. in the middle of the game, he'd pull out a Snicker out of his back pocket. And start eating it.
Yeah, a Snicker would give you energy, and that would be during the game. A lot of times I'd take a big old bite off that Snicker and stick it in my pocket, and on I go.
Gosh, it's amazing. I wonder if somebody could count up the miles you have put on your cars going to all these
And
places.
over the years, I'll be honest with you, I made pretty good money. Made pretty good money doing it, but I very rarely ever turned down a game.
I've had a lot of sales jobs in my life, and I've probably seen all of Alabama myself. But Dad's probably seen it 50 more times than me.
Mm-hmm. He's been everywhere, man.
A lot of places, and of course I work with communities in a lot of cities, and to bring industry into their.
Well, you traveled with your officiating. You traveled with your state job recruiting.
That's right.
And then you travel to all these Troy sporting events.
Games he covered on TV.
And the high school games you covered on Golly.
Oh yeah, I sure did, and I enjoyed it. People used to ask me, say, "Why do you do that? Why do you do it?" It's because I want to. Let me tell you something very important to know about anybody that does things that you can't understand. Is most of the time it's something he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I never went out and done any games or whatever that I didn't want to do, but and doing television and working with different schools and so forth and interviewing players is something I wanted to do to make that they feel more important. I wanted football players to be known by the public that they're giving us entertainment every Friday night, and why not go interview them and find out who they are and show their footage of their picture day over and over.
Brilliant.
Yeah. To let people know, nowadays, hey, shoot, football is you're not getting all the athletes out there.
You did it last year, didn't you?
Went
to something. I mean, are you gonna do it this year?
Probably won't. I let it go, and I've let Wiley and his buddy go do
Neil.
it, and I think they can do a good job. And let me just say this: that guy up there, my director, Steve Camp, and the owners of this business have never told me that I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I could film anything I wanted to, whenever I wanted to do it. And I wanted to enhance the community. I wanted to enhance the kids that played ball, and these things helped them do it.
Yeah, why would they ever tell you no? You're free help.
And well, yeah, that had a lot to do with it. And I did parades, and I still do parades. I still do all the homecoming. I'll be doing those things, on and off. And Rice, see, you're another one. You and my buddy here, Forrest, would be a good broadcast crew. Would be a good one.
I don't know about that.
Look at
Get him to say, gentlemen.
because that's
Bill
right.
Rice here. Forrest Lee.
All right, y'all want to pick some games for this weekend?
Yeah, that's right. Let's do
Pick 'em.
that.
All right, you got Oregon State against Loyola Chicago. That game's going to be at 1:40 on CBS. Who do you have advancing?
Loyola.
Loyola's looked real good. I got to go Loyola.
I'm going to go Oregon State because they won the Pac-12 tournament and got in, and now they've been red hot in the tournament. So I'm going to go Oregon State.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Wait a minute. Now they're playing at or versus Oregon State, Loyola.
Yeah.
Boy, Loyola is surely a.
Chicago made the Final Four 3 years ago.
I know it, and they're a team that somebody's. I would take Oregon State too. I agree with you.
Now you got Villanova against number 1 seed Baylor. That game will be on CBS at 4:15.
Baylor.
Oh boy, what a game! What a game!
I'm going to go with Baylor.
But I got to say,
I'm going to take Baylor.
I got to say that I am making these picks with not watching 1 minute of any of these teams play.
Is that guard back for Villanova? The guard that got hurt?
Yeah, he's back.
He is back. I'm gonna pick Villanova to beat them. Villanova's a good, solid team.
This should be a a no-brainer in my opinion. Arkansas, a number 3 seed, playing Oral Roberts, a 15 seed. This game will be at 6:25 on TBS. I'm going to take Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas came out of nowhere at the end, didn't they?
No, they had a great season. They went 23-7.
Oh, did they? Okay.
So it looks like Arkansas is going to make it to the Elite Eight.
So that would be Baylor versus Arkansas, right? If they both win.
No, it'd be Arkansas. I think.
Okay.
Okay, move on.
Let me see. Let me check my bracket real quick and make sure who plays who.
You know, Arkansas was a great basketball program for, about 15, 20 years.
Well, you know, they had the great...
Actually, yeah, that would be Arkansas Baylor.
Okay.
Okay, after that, you got Buddy Boeheim, the short shooter, Jim Boeheim's son, who's averaging like 30 a game in the tournament, against number 2 seed Houston. This game will be at 8:55 on TV.
Well, I'll tell you right now,
Houston.
I like Boeheim. I'm taking Syracuse.
Houston.
Oh, me.
I'll take Houston.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to take Houston, too. You know,
I'm going to tell you, that kid can shoot the eyes out of it, and he's going to lead his team to victory.
Mm-hmm. There have been players that get hot in the tournament, and they lead their team all the way to at least the Final Four.
All right, Mike. Michigan and Florida, is that right?
No, the first game you'll have is Creighton against Gonzaga. It'll be at 1:10 on CBS.
No, is that tomorrow or tonight?
That game will be Sunday night. Everybody's going to take Gonzaga, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Gonzaga.
Oh, yeah.
And then this is a local team that I got a lot of neighbors, the big Florida State fans. Florida State will play Michigan, the number 1 seed, on CBS at 4 p.m. I'm going to take the upset here. I'm going to take Florida State to beat Michigan.
I concur.
Well, let me ask you this. How far did Michigan have to travel?
They're all down there.
Yeah,
right?
everybody.
Oh, that's right.
They're all in.
Yeah.
They're all in.
Not far. Indiana from Michigan's not that far.
They're
Let me
still
tell
down
you
there.
this, I'm gonna take Michigan, I believe. I'm gonna take Michigan.
Michigan's the number 1 seed.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Michigan.
I'll take Michigan. I'll just take the higher seeded team.
Then you got UCLA at 11 seed playing number 2 Alabama at 6:15 on TBS on Sunday night.
All right.
So that late on Sunday night.
So that means Michigan, Florida State versus the Alabama UCLA winner.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. One of y'all.
I'll take Alabama.
I'm gonna take Bama.
I mean, you got to like Alabama after what they did against Maryland.
Yeah.
I mean, if they've got their shot back, but unfortunately, they're going to play in a different arena.
Yeah.
Where they didn't have their shot.
No, that's right. I like Alabama shooting the 3.
They're a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get with
This will be the first time Alabama. Of course, it's the Elite 8.
You know, I was walking around Drayton yesterday or 2 days ago, and walked by a guy. He had a UCLA T-shirt on. I said to the guy, "Do y'all play basketball?" And he started laughing. He said, "I know y'all are going to kill us." As a UCLA fan, I mean, I don't know how you could ever say that. I mean, it's such a great tradition in basketball.
Yeah, no question.
But, after that, you got Oregon, a number 7 seed. Keep in mind, they advanced with a forfeit, so they've only played 1 game, and they blew out Iowa. And they'll play number 6 USC. So these teams have played several times. 8:45 on TBS. This will be a tough game to pick.
Southern Cal.
I'm gonna take Oregon.
I'm gonna take Southern Cal.
I'll take Southern Cal too.
All right, I'm gonna take Oregon. You know, Oregon beat Iowa 95-80, and Iowa had a good team.
Well, I'll take Oregon then.
This is a lot of really interesting games. Other than Gonzaga, Creighton. I think everything else can be pretty close.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it sure is. It's going to be a lot of good basketball.
Well, if Alabama can win over UCLA, this would cement probably the greatest season in Alabama basketball history just for this reason. They would have won the SEC championship and the tournament championship and made it to the Elite 8, which is the farthest they've ever been. This will be the second time. But you add up all 3 of those, So there's been teams that went to the Elite Eight. I think they won the SEC championship, but they didn't win the tournament. So this could be the trifecta.
And
Mark Goddard's team went to the Elite Eight, but they kind of just got hot at the right time. I think this team is definitely a better team overall.
well, I suggest the coach take his players and feed them some spinach today, because today is National Spinach Day.
Yeah.
The team that made it to the Elite Eight, they might not have won the SEC championship. I might be wrong. I guess they didn't.
I don't know if that team didn't. You know, the team that won the SEC championship got beat in the second round.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so I stand. This would definitely be the best.
Actually, got beat in the second round by Kent State.
Yeah.
The NIT quarterfinals are tomorrow. Number 1 Memphis against the number 1 seed Colorado State. Anybody want to pick that?
No.
Well, yesterday, West Kentucky they lost to La Tech, and then Memphis came back and beat Boise State 59-50. I think they won by 3, 59-56, and then you also had Mississippi State advance, so they're playing still.
Yeah. Memphis versus Colorado State, and the first game tomorrow, and then the second game is Mississippi State versus Louisiana Tech.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
That's the Final Four.
You know, all these
for
games
Mississippi.
are on ESPN, so it's great exposure when you get the NIT.
Yeah, definitely.
There's not anything at all wrong with being in NIT. No question about it. I wanted
Back
people
in the
to.
day, the NIT was as great as the NCAA, wasn't it?
Yeah, once upon a time.
Mike, I wanted to mention also that Texas A&M girls are playing Arizona. Do you think they have more magic left?
I don't know. I was hoping they'd get beat by Iowa State. That's what happened against Troy.
Well, I want the team that beat Troy to go ahead and win the national championship.
I do too. I hope
That would make Troy look better.
You got a huge baseball series. Central Florida coming to town. That should be a big crowd, I would think, out there for the weekend.
That is against the top 25 program year in and year out in Central Florida.
I mean, does Troy play every game at home? This is an amazing home
They
stand.
play a lot of them at home, yeah.
Yeah, next week we play at South Alabama. Next weekend.
That's right.
Well, that'll be a fun trip.
Did they ever do that? Did they ever change schedules on the UAB game in Troy?
You mean the Alabama game?
I haven't heard of that yet.
Or the Alabama game, either one.
Haven't heard that yet.
You know, that Alabama game would be interesting if they could play that later in the season. Maybe Troy can get hot again.
Troy, of course, also has a football scrimmage in the morning. It's open to the public pretty much, and come on out and watch.
What time is that going to be?
Probably around 10, 9, between 9 and 10, somewhere like that.
We need to see this new quarterback transfer from Missouri.
Yeah, and I've seen him a little bit, and he looks good. Right now, Troy's got 4 real good quarterbacks.
He's really the only guy that people should be interested in seeing, because the whole team's back.
Yeah, that's right. That's
So
right.
basically, the whole team from last year is back. I guess you might have some junior college and some freshman kids that graduated early in January are out there already.
Yeah.
Roger Schultz is starting playing baseball. Didn't you say that, Bill?
Yeah, he's thrown a couple of no-hitters.
A couple? I knew he threw one. He threw another
He's a
one?
big, yeah, I think he's
Might
thrown
be
2.
drafted
Well, I
if
told
you are.
I'm Facebook
big
buddies with his daddy Roger, and I said can he play both sports at Troy? And they said if they let him. But he seems like he's a better baseball player than he's a football player.
He's intimidating if you're 6'5" on the
We
mound.
were there eating breakfast at Bird's the other day, and we saw this big 6'6" kid, the wide receiver.
You saw Reggie.
Mike, he's as pretty as anybody we've ever had. He is something.
Well, you know, he had a great freshman year at Mississippi State before he transferred to a junior college, and you know he's had good years at Troy. I was surprised he didn't go ahead and try to go for the draft.
I wonder if he gets an extra year.
He does. Everybody does. Everybody's coming back.
Okay. That's great.
If
The
you
only
get,
kid that's not coming back that was the starter was the big receiver, Khalil McLean, who transferred in from Tulane, who had 2 really good seasons.
Well, this kid Reggie told us that he is 24 years old. So you often hear about college being 18 to 19-year-olds.
6 years. Yeah.
Well, you got people that are playing college football that are 24 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Hope you enjoyed our
That
show.
was very interesting, though. He said he was the runner-up in state Mr. Basketball.
Yeah, behind
Petway? Was it a Petway?
no John Petty.
Why didn't he play basketball after this season?
Well, he could have. Ladies and gentlemen, this show has been brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass. They've got a tremendous sale going on right now at their showroom and facility located on the bypass here in Troy, and we appreciate them. And also Troy Bank and Trust Company. Remember, Troy Bank and Trust Company is the only bank you'll ever need. And our good friends at Noble Manor for assisted living, Noble Manor, 808. And we'll be back Monday morning bright and early. And you can watch us again on tape right here at 1:30.